Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smile. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Someone smile. Be the reason someone smile. Be the reason someone smile. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, besimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio besimcha. Siva gedola, lio besimcha. The reason someone smiles. The reason someone smiles. The reason someone smiles. The reason someone smiles. The reason someone smiles.
Breakfast with Ellie.
מודה אני לפניך, מלך חי וקיים שהחזרת בי, נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך.
Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. Ah!
Up, down, right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere. That's where he can be found. Up, down, right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere. That's where he can be found.
והשם יתברך תמיד אוהב אותי ותמיד יהיה לי רק טוב. השם יתברך תמיד אוהב אותי ותמיד יהיה לי ויהיה לי עוד יותר טוב ועוד 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 יותר טוב ותמיד יהיה לי רק ויהיה לי ועוד יותר טוב ועוד יותר טוב ותמיד יהיה לי.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Ellie. It is Tuesday, Yom Shehutful B'Kei Time, Season 7, Episode 256, on the day that Hashem said twice, it is good. It is Tuesday, as I said, the 18th day of Av, Chai, the 18th day of Av. We should live and be well. The 28th day of August, in the year 5785, 2025. The Torah portion is Eikev, HaYom Yom Shlishi L'Shabbos, the third day counting up towards Shabbos. We'll be learning the third Aliyah. Good morning. How are you? I am fine, Baruch Hashem, very, very good. We have a special dedication today. I'm going to talk about it more in a minute or two, but today's learning is in honor of the immediate recovery of Chana Bas Gittel, the safe return of all our hostages, and the end to all war. And it is also the yahrzeit of, where is it? I had it right here. Where'd it go? Yes, here we go. Sorry. It is the yahrzeit of, let me put it back in, Rabbi Shlomo Chanoch Rabinovich, the fourth and last Rebbe of Radomsk. He perished with his family in the Warsaw Ghetto, known for the network of yeshivas KOSHER Torah, established throughout Poland and Galicia. The Radomsker Hasidim during that period were counted among the three largest Hasidic movements in Poland, and we're going to talk a little bit more about him in the upcoming segment. All right, so just hold on, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Radomsker Rebbe. In the meantime, that's where we're dedicating our learning today. Take your two front tzitzis, men and boys. Everybody else join us in the second bracha as we begin our morning brachot. Everybody ready? Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhma uvaravo nekavim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei Chevodecha she'im yisatem echad mehem o im yipateach echad mehem אי אפשר להתקיים אפילו שעה אחת. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על דברי תורה. הריני מקבל עלי מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Torah tziva lanu Moshe.
Pushki, the tzedakah box. I put put it in the push key for someone else in need.
All right, Stucca has been given. Bless you, my children. And now we go to say the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. God is one. What does this mean? On a childish level, it means there's one God and not two gods. There isn't, many gods like idols. But it's much deeper than that. And what we're saying is God is one with everything. Everything is one with God, which means every person, every experience, everything has God in it. And we cover our eyes every day and we meditate on the oneness of God, how there isn't any situation that we're not meant to reveal God's presence in that situation. And no matter who we meet, that person's soul is a spark of God. That's why it's a very, very powerful, powerful verse.
Shema. How to listen. Most famous word in the Torah is
Shema Yisrael Adonai
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך, ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
All right, and we're doing breakfast this morning. Coffee and yogurt. Here it is. Are you ready? We're making a bracha shahakol. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shahakol nihiyah bidvaroi.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way. Yeah.
All right. Today in Jewish history, then. Take one more bite. All right. All right. As we said, let's do this first. The Western lamp was extinguished. Every evening, the Kohen would kindle the 7 lights of the holy menorah in the holy temple. Miraculously, those 6 of the candles would burn out, The western lamp would remain lit until the following morning. During the reign of the idolatrous King Achaz, father of the pious King Hezekiah, the miracle discontinued. The first time the western lamp was found to have been extinguished was today, the 18th day of Menachem Av. 76 men, women, and children were slaughtered and scores wounded, raped, and maimed by their Arab neighbors in the city of Hebron. They rioted for 3 days amid cries of "Slaughter the Jews." The killings began on Friday afternoon, the 17th of Av, and most of the victims lost their lives on Shabbos, the 18th day of Av. The survivors were forced to evacuate to Jerusalem, and the ancient Jewish city of Hebron, which had lived in relative peace in the city for hundreds of years, was not revived until after Israel's capture of Hebron once again in the 67 Six-Day War. A child named Hugh of Lincoln, yep, that was his name, disappeared. And the Jews, of course, were accused of murdering him to use his blood in the baking of matzahs. 1255, 90 Jews were arrested and held in the Tower of London, and 18 of them were hanged. Today is the birthday of Rabbi Avram Zacuto in Salamanca, Castile, Spain. In addition to being a Talmud Chacham, he was a scientist, astronomer, and historian. Professor of the University of Salamanca, but with the expulsion of 1492, he followed his rabbi to Portugal, where he became the royal astronomer to kings Jotilde II and Manuel I. In 1497, the expulsion extended to Portugal, and Rav Zacuto moved to Tunis. There he completed his Sefer HaYuchsin. He also authored the Sibur HaGadol, which Christopher Columbus and Vasco da Gama used in consultation with him to plan their trips to the New World. Well, how about that? He died about the year 1515 in Damascus. And today is the day of the word of the first reliable Nazi plan to remove all the Jews in 1942. The State Department suppressed the report for several weeks until Jews in New York received it through other means. And the 1 millionth Ole, person making Aliyah to Israel since the establishment of the state, then they kept records, was in 1961. Lots of Jews there. All right, back to Rav Shlomo Chanoch Rabinovich, the Radomsker Rav. In this week's Dvar Torah on Eikev, he explains that in keeping with ve'achalta v'sevata l'vracha, that you shall eat, you shall be satiated, and you shall bless, one must not only bless after eating, but also before it, since this is a sign of soulful devotion. And that's where he concludes that we get that custom from. All right. A little bit more about Rabbi Shlomo HaKohen Rabinovich. He was the eldest son of the third Radomsker Rebbe, Yechiel Rabinovich, and great-grandson of the founder of the dynasty, Shlomo Rabinovich, known as the Tiferes Shlomo. Radomsk became the third largest Hasidic dynasty in Poland, right after Ger and Alexander. He built a network of 36 yeshivas across Poland and Galicia that enrolled over 4,000 students by the year 1939. He succeeded his father as Rebbe upon the father's death in 1910. On the eve of World War II, Radomsk was the third largest, we said that. He was wealthy He owned a glass factory and homes in Berlin, Warsaw, and Słoneczewicz, where he lived after World War I. Although he suffered from diabetes like his father and grandfather, his life was extended by the discovery of insulin in 1921. How about that? Rabbi Rabinovich and the members of his family, including his only daughter, son-in-law, and their infant son, were murdered by the Nazis on the first day of August 1942, when they stormed the house to deport its residents to the Chelmno extermination camp. He refused, saying, "I know you've come to kill me. I'd prefer to die here in my house and not in a car filled with poison gas." He then recited the Shema and was shot in the head when he reached the last word. His family members were shot together with him, buried in a mass grave in Warsaw's main cemetery. With his death, the father-to-son lineage of the Radomsker Rebbe's came to an end. His brother, Rabbi Elimelech Aryeh Leib HaKohen Rabinovich, died in the Mauthausen concentration camp. His teachings and those of his son-in-law, David Moshe Rabinovich, were compiled in the book Shivchei Kohen, Praises of the Priest. All right, a meager tribute to an outstanding man. May his blood be avenged, and of course his memory for the blessing that it already is. All right. Let us now continue with HaYom for today. Thank you and many blessings to CJ Glass for bringing that to our attention. All right, HaYom for the day.
HaYom thoughts for the day, 18th of Menachem Av. You all know that you should love the Lord your God with all your everything. But love another? Isn't it enough if I'm polite to him? Lend him my power tools, invite him to my son's bar mitzvah? I have to be consumed with loving him? Can there be a partially obsessed love? Can I love you except on Thursdays or when a more popular friend invites me over? The nature of true love is that it's all-consuming. There's no halfway about it. Maybe that's the lesson of today's entry. Loving my neighbor means all in, all the time, for Hashem and for Nachum, the nosy neighbor, too.
If you want to fulfill the Torah's instructions, v'ahavta l'reacha, you shall love your fellow, love your neighbor. That's not so difficult. I mean, we all do favors for people every now and then. It doesn't have to be a super challenging thing, as long as that favor doesn't require you to expend yourself too much. As long as you don't have to go out of your way too much, not so challenging. But the thing is that the Torah doesn't stop with just love your fellow. The Torah has another word in there at the end of that clause. V'yahavta l'reacha kamoicha. Love your fellow in the manner, in the way that you love yourself. Now, when you're taking care of yourself, right? If there's something really that you feel is important that you want for you, you're ready to go a very far distance. You're ready to go out of your way. You're ready to expend yourself. You're ready to make yourself uncomfortable. As long as you feel like the objective, what you're trying to get for yourself is worthwhile, you will go to great lengths to take care of yourself. Today's HaYom points out that when you're fulfilling the mitzvah to take care of somebody else, you have to have that same level of commitment. Says the Mittel Rebbe, the second Rebbe of Chabad, in the name of his father, the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, the mitzvah to love your fellow Jew, to what degree do you have to go to fulfill this mitzvah? Says the Alter Rebbe, you have to be ready to expend your soul Expend your kishkas, your neshama, expend your soul to the last ounce. Far easier said than done. That is a challenging mitzvah. But if Hashem asks us to do it, clearly He feels that we are up to the task.
Hashem doesn't give a test that you cannot pass. I wish I could explain how true that is. All right. And now, a word from our sponsors.
And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidall.com.
PestProRidall.com. Trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidall.com.
Tarzane Group. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzanegroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565. And order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzanegroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Helping lots of people any way we can. Tzedakah is the Jewish way to help your fellow man.
All right, if you would like to help out, give tzedakah and bring Torah all around the world all at the same time, all you have to do is scan this handy QR code, and that'll take you to breakfastwithelli.live/new computer. I'm sorry, breakfastwithelli.live/support, breakfastwithelli.live/support, where you can contribute any amount you want and help us bring Torah all around the world and give tzedakah at the same time. I think that's an amazing, amazing thing to do. All right? Okay. Let's continue. There's a funny. All right. Are you ready? We are continuing today's covenant, today's Parsha overview to Parsha's Eikev. And we're saying that the verb to listen in both Hebrew and English means not simply to hear with your ears, but to obey as well. All right, what's going on here? Where's my camera? Why can't you see me? Let's try a different, there we are, okay. I wonder why that's not working. All right, we'll have to figure that out. All right. Paradoxically, it is hearing rather than the more riveting experience of seeing that enables us to commit ourselves wholeheartedly and totally to our divine calling. That's one reason for the word if in the opening phrase of this week's Parsha. If you will listen. Eikev literally means heel. The heel, as we noted, is the least sensitive limb of the body and a metaphor for raw commitment, the least emotionally engaging form of fulfilling our divine mission. Raw commitment and self-discipline, essential as they may be to the immutable basis of our relationship with Hashem, are not intended to be either the entirety or the quintessence of that relationship. We are bidden to progress from hearing to seeing, to manifest our subliminal surety of Hashem's existence that He granted to Moshe, granted us at Moshe's behest. Living life on this level of divine awareness is a much loftier experience, since, as we said, the experience of seeing overtakes our entire consciousness. All our faculties, intellect, emotion, and expression, are imbued with this heightened energy. The culmination of this process is alluded to in the following Parsha, Re'eh, which opens with the word Re'eh, see, Nasati lefanecha HaYom, I place before you this day. The implied promise that if we fully and truly hear, as detailed in Parshas Eikev, then even in the overall exilic context of hearing, we will be granted the ability to consciously experience the subconscious divine sight, in other words, to see Hashem's Anochi, His eye. And that was planted within us in Parshas Ve'eschanan. Nonetheless, the work that we do while only hearing that enables our subsequent seeing to remain a permanent feature of our psyche, rather than the fleeting glimpse of higher reality that it is by itself. So in this Parsha, Moshe continues his review of Jewish history with the immediate aftermath of the giving of the Torah, which he recounted in Parshas Ve'eschanan, the incident of the golden calf, and the mechanism of return to Hashem, teshuvah, and reconciliation with Him. As we have noted, teshuvah, returning to Hashem, is the underlying theme of the entire book of Dvarim, but it receives particular emphasis in Parshas Eikev, since the struggle to hear God, rather than the ecstasy of seeing Him, is the one that characterizes the process of teshuvah. And we will finish this, God willing, tomorrow. In the third Aliyah, Moshe tells the Israelites that they will inherit the land of Israel, not due to their own merits and righteousness, but because of the promise Hashem made to our fathers. In fact, Moshe reminds them of the many times they angered Hashem while in the desert, placing special emphasis on the sin of the Egel Zahav, the golden calf, when Hashem could have annihilated the entire Israelite nation, if not for Moshe's successful intercession on their behalf. He also makes a brief reference to the other times when we rebelled against Hashem in the desert. Not our most glorious moments. All right, Rabbi Avtson, here we go. The big sins.
Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
When you come and conquer this land, don't say it's because of your righteousness that you deserve it. You are not coming to take possession of the land because of your righteousness or because of the integrity of your heart. Rather, it's because of the wickedness of these nations that Hashem is driving them out before you, as well as in order to fulfill the statement that Hashem swore to your forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. You must know that Hashem, your God, is not giving you this land to possess because of your righteousness. For on the contrary, you're a stiff-necked people. Don't take yourself too seriously. Remember, do not forget how you repeatedly angered Hashem, your God, in the desert. You have been rebelling against God from the day you went out of Egypt till the day you came to this place. The most graphic example of your stubbornness was when you angered Hashem at Mount Chorev by making the golden calf. Hashem was so incensed with you that He wanted to destroy you, as I will now review with you. You see, when I ascended the mountain the first time to receive the stone tablets, the tablets of the covenant Hashem made with you, I remained on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights, neither eating or drinking. Hashem gave me 2 stone tablets, inscribed by the finger of God, and on them were engraved the exact words Hashem spoke to you on the mountain, from the midst of the fire on the day that we all assembled to receive the Torah. These tablets were written in openly miraculous manner, since even though both tablets were the same size and there were many more words on the first tablet than the second, nevertheless, the size of the letters, the spacing between the letters, the spacing between the lines, and the size of the margins were all identical on each. Go figure that one out. At the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, Hashem gave me 2 stone tablets, the tablets of the covenant. But then he said to me, "Arise, descend quickly from here, for your people, who you have brought out of Egypt, have become corrupt. They have been quick to turn away from the path I commanded them to follow. They made for themselves a molten calf." Hashem spoke to me further, and he said, "I have observed these people, and they are indeed a stiff-necked people. They do not accept rebuke easily, if at all. Therefore, I have only one option. Leave me alone, and I will destroy and obliterate their name everywhere beneath the heaven. And I will start over and make you and your descendants into a nation mightier and more numerous than they." So I turned and came down the mountain. The mountain was ablaze with fire, and the 2 tablets and covenant were in my 2 hands. I saw that you sinned against Hashem your God. You have made yourself a molten calf. You were indeed quick to turn away from the path Hashem commanded you to follow. So I grasped the 2 tablets, hurled them from my hands, shattering them before your eyes at the foot of the mountain. I then ascended the mountain a second time, and I threw myself on my face to plead your case before Hashem. Staying there as before for 40 days and 40 nights, I neither ate bread nor drank water. This time because I was so preoccupied with seeking Hashem's forgiveness for all the sins that you committed by doing evil in the eyes of Hashem to anger him. For I was frightened by the wrath and fury that Hashem displayed when he was angry at you, threatening to destroy you. But thankfully, Hashem hearkened to me also at this time and did not destroy you. Hashem was also extremely furious with Aaron for acquiescing for your insistence on making the calf. He threatened to destroy him by killing his 4 sons, thereby leaving him without any descendants. So I prayed for Aaron at that time. My prayer was only effective halfway, and therefore 2 of his sons, Nadav and Avihu, later died an unnatural death before having any children of their own. Before I went up to Mount Sinai for the second time, I took the object of your sin, the calf that you made, burned it in the fire, crushed it, grinding it well until it was fine as dust. I cast it into the stream that descended from the mountain. Now, besides the incident of the golden calf, he also provoked Hashem to anger at Tavera, at Massa, at Meriva, at Kivrat Atavel, each one with their own crazy stories. And when Hashem sent you from Ritma, saying, "Go up and take possession of the land," you defied the word. You did not believe that he promised to grant you victory, the story with the spies, nor did you obey. Instead, you asked to send spies. So you see, besides the golden calf, you have been rebelling against Hashem since the day I know you. As I said, when I went up the mountain the second time, I threw myself down to plead your case before Hashem, and I remained prostrated during the entire 40 days. And 40 nights, and after I threw myself down, because Hashem said that and whom you have redeemed in your greatness, and whom you have brought out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, your servants. Pay no heed to the stubbornness of this people, or to their wickedness, or to their sin, lest the people of the land which you brought us out of Egypt, say that the only reason you destroyed us is because you're unable to bring us out of Egypt, bring us into the land of Israel, and therefore you killed them in the desert. They, Hashem, are your people and your inheritance, who you brought with your great strength and with your outstretched arm.
All right. And that takes us to Parsha Points with Rabbi Epstein. Are you ready?
Parsha Points, Eikev for Tuesday. Why does Aaron get the blessing that no one else seems to? The transmission of his mission to his descendants for eternity. Every Kohen getting the first Aliyah, reciting the Birchas Kohanim, is a direct and tangible beneficiary of his Elter Zedi Aaron. Sure, people know their yichus, but it doesn't skip them to the head of their line. Today's reading perhaps gives us an insight. Is it the detachment from the earthly? Is it the devotion to love peace, to pursue peace and bring everyone to the Torah? We all seek what Aaron gets, to pass on what is most important to us to those most important to us. Let us follow the advice of Pirkei Avos and study the ways of Aaron.
Parshas Eikev, the third Aliyah. The pasuk starts with Al U'Matar L'vracha ba'adoif Hashem Elokecha oisam elfanecha le'mor. Don't say when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending out the nations in front of you as they're coming to Eretz Yisrael, B'tzidkasi Haviani Hashem L'reshes Haaretz Hazois. that I'm coming into the land of Eretz Yisrael because of my tzidkus, because I'm great, because I'm wonderful, and the people around me are Rishayim. Because you're not able to come into Eretz Yisrael. You don't acquire Eretz Yisrael because you have a tremendous chus, because you're so great, because you're so wonderful, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As much as He loves us and wants us to have Eretz Yisrael, it says that He's giving us Eretz Yisrael. It's the Hadavar Asher Nishba Hashem Lavosecha L'Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. Eretz Yisrael was given to us as a gift because it was given to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and as the progeny of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, therefore we're entitled to Eretz Yisrael. We're entitled to it only if and only if we remain true to the morals and to the codes that Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov have given to us. So stay true to the Avos, stay true to the Messiah from Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and we'll be able to have a Shaychus to Eretz Yisrael. Have a wonderful day.
All right, and that takes us to, we did our Parsha report, but we have Rabbi Minkowitz today.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Eikev. The question of the week is, what is the spiritual power of the manna? So in this week's Torah portion, the Torah says in reference to the man, "Vayachil chasaman," God fed us the manna, "Asher lo yadata," we didn't know, "V'lo yodin avasecha," our ancestors didn't know. I mean, there's something new, something powerful within this manna. What is the man? So the Rebbe explains and he says, the man is on the level of tal, dew. Like the verse says, "Vatal shichvas atal," and this tal, which is the source of the energy for the manna, that's the same energy God's going to use to resurrect the dead when Mashiach comes. And also this manna, this tal, is also the energy which exists in Torah. And that's why when it comes to the resurrection of the dead, it says that God's going to resurrect the dead, but rachamim rabim, tremendous compassion. So tal is the level of rachamim rabim. But nevertheless, this powerful energy doesn't happen on its own. It happens when we do our work. When we do our part, that causes the tal to come down. So in other words, the fact is the tal, there's a big difference between the tal, the dew, and rain. Rain requires us to pray to Hashem. Tal is a gift from Hashem. But what causes the gift to happen? It happens, like it says, when we do our work complete. In this world, that will cause this powerful tal that we have, the manna, which is going to cause the resurrection of the dead to come and create the resurrection of the dead with the coming of Mashiach. So the answer to the question, what is the spiritual power of the manna? It's a gift from God. The same gift that we're going to have with the resurrection of the dead, and we do mitzvot, we will cause all that to happen. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to memory of Baruch Ben Ari Leib, Shlomo Yosef, Rachel Baslipa, and Sina Basara. May your souls be elevated by Torah we're studying in the memory. For more information, please see our website, ChabadSWF.org. Have a great and blessed week. Shavua Tov.
And we have time for Rabbi Leib Wolf.
This week's Torah reading begins with a very humble word. The word is Eikev. Eikev means the heel of one's foot. And it says that, Rashi explains, that the lowest part of the body is as important as the highest part. You know full well when you stub your toe, your whole body reacts. There's no such thing as an unimportant part of the body. Likewise, the corporate body of Jewish peoplehood. There's no such thing as an unimportant element of Jews. I know that sometimes we refer to culinary Jews, Jews who are very, very pedantic about their cholent and about their gefilte fish. and we sort of dismiss that. And then we talk about the cerebral Jews, Jewish literati, individuals who follow every Jewish novel critically, or we speak about the cardiac Jews, Jews who are very emotionally involved with the country and our state and our future as a people, but don't necessarily practice Jewish practices and customs. We are being told today in our parsha, every Jew is significant, but specifically every practice of every law of Judaism is significant. There's no such thing as minor laws and major laws, minor Jews and major Jews. We're all one, equally significant. Do what you know you can do well.
All right. And now, Reb Zusha Zilberstein.
Would you take a gift, a most precious, unique, one in the world item that you get as a gift? Would you take it and just shatter it, break it, and expect a thank you for it? Yet when we read the Torah reading of today, this is what happened. And I'll tell you soon what I'm referring to. But before this, let us say thank you to Hashem and pray to Hashem for all the miracles that He had done till now and for the final miracle, Moshiach. So mizmor l'soid oril Adonai kol haaretz yivdu sadenu b'simcha boi lefanav birnon ad'u ki Adonai Elohim hu asanu v'lo anachnu amo b'tzoi marisoi boi yishoru b'soid chatzorosoi b'silo hoido lebachu shmoi ki toiv Adonai le'olam chazdoi v'yadoir v'doir emunasoi. Please, my friends, wherever you are, give some tzedakah. So what am I referring to? In today's Torah portion, Moshe Rabbeinu recounts how, after having received the Ten Commandments, he went up to heaven for 40 days. Lechem lo echalti u'mayim lo shosisi. I didn't eat, I didn't drink. And God gave me the tablets, the Shnei Luchos Habris, the two tablets of covenant that bound God with us and bounded us with God. What was those tablets? Precious stone. A precious stone that God created it specifically for this purpose. Now these stones was pretty big. It was a cubic 2 feet by 2 feet. 2 of them. Pretty heavy stone. So how did Moshe Rabbeinu carry it? Although we know Moshe Rabbeinu was tall and strong and so on and so forth, but this weighs, imagine, a stone of this weight, of this size, 2 of them. So, miracle, obviously. Not a miracle, but at that time we used the miracles. So it's no big thing that Moshe Rabbeinu is carrying it. But then he says, I came down after my 40 days. I came down. You committed this, you sinned in front of God. What did you do? You made yourself a golden calf. You digressed, you departed from the ways that God instructed you. So what did I do? I'll read those words. I took hold of those 2 tablets. I threw them off my hands, and I smashed them before your eyes. Excuse me, Moshe Rabbeinu, who gave you permission to destroy this? God gave you this precious item as a gift to the Jewish people. How do you break them? And what does it mean? I took hold of them. He had it, he carried them. Do you know how many people committed the sin of the golden calf? We always have this impression that the whole Jewish community. No, my friends, it was only 3,000 people out of millions of Jews. Yet Moshe Rabbeinu says, those tablets were given to each individually. God speaks, Onoichi Hashem Elokecha, I am your God. So the tablets have to be inclusive, every single Jew. If there is one missing, if there are 3,000 missing, although it's out of millions, the luchas are incomplete. And how does Moshe Rabbeinu know they're incomplete? Because suddenly they became heavy. I had to take hold of them. Till now they were light. The divine presence of those letters made it light. Suddenly I felt how the divinity, the divine message, disappeared of those letters. The stones came hold, heavy. I broke them because I realized that God departed from here. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, but then I went to pray and I asked for forgiveness, and God did forgive. So we too, we say to the Eibishter, just like you forgave them then, forgive us now. We're broken. The luchas, the people are broken with all the suffering that's going on. Please, Mashiach now.
Al Yedei Amidas Tehillim, Al Yedei Amidas Tehillim, Al Yedei Amidas Tehillim, Tisoyrecha Vatzeles HaShoroin.
All right, we are saying Tehillim today, chapters 23 and 124. Let's go.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי, לא אחסר, בינוס תשע, ירביצני, על מי מנוחוס ינהלני, נפשי שובב, ינחני במעגלי צדק, למען שמו, גם כי לך בגיא צלמובס, לא ירא, כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי, תשענת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני. כל ימי חיי ושבתי בביס אדוני לאורך ימים. Tanya.
All right, here we go. Tanya for the 18th of
Thank you for joining Tanya in 5. Today's lesson for the 18th of. We conclude the 5th letter of the Geras HaKodesh. In this letter, we want to understand what does it mean to make God's name through the act of charity. How do you make God's name, and specifically, why is it through charity? So the Alter Rebbe presents a teaching from Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Arizal. He says there are two types of souls among the Jewish people. There are the souls of the Torah scholars who occupy themselves with Torah all their lives, and then there are the souls of those who perform the mitzvahs, the commandments. They occupy themselves with charity and performance of acts of kindness. Now, it would seem that scholars too need to occupy themselves with the performance of kindness, as our sages say in the Talmud, that if a person says that all he has is Torah and not acts of kindness, then even Torah he doesn't have. So, however, the Alter Rebbe says in regards to Torah scholars, their primary occupation is the study of Torah. However, of course, they do spend some of their time, a small amount of their time, in the performance of kindness, as opposed to the rest of the population that spend most of their times in acts of charity and kindness. Now, with this in mind, to effect the arousal from below, because everything has to be aroused from below once creation, God created the world, it's dependent on us, to arouse the supreme chesed, kindness, to call forth and to bring downward the infinite light of God that's vested in supreme Chachma, which is the source of God's Torah in the oral Torah. It extends only those who study Torah, study Talmud, the Gemara, for example. They are only extending the light of God into the world of Bria. The world of Bria is the world of comprehension, and since they're studying Gemara, which is comprehending the reasons behind God's wisdom, therefore they're able to extend the light of God that it comes from supreme Chachma, which vested in it is the Ein Sof, the limitlessness of God, only to the world of Bria. When someone studies the Mishnah, on the other hand, then they're able to bring vitality into the world of Yetzirah. The world of Yetzirah is the world of emotion. Emotion, as we've explained many times previously, is the idea of embracing something, which is kindness, or refraining from something, which is Gevura, which is the left side, right and left side. And hence we have either something is kosher, not kosher, valid, invalid, and so on. And that's the occupation of the study of the Mishnah, which tells us whether this is valid, invalid, kosher, not kosher, and the like. So therefore, when one studies that area of the Torah, so he extends the vitality of God through his occupation of Torah in Mishnah to the world of Yetzirah and gives vitality there. But the origin of the letters is Supreme Chachma. And as we mentioned, that Supreme Chachma ultimately is the source for speech that is vivifying not just the spiritual world, but also this world down here, which this world comes from the supreme breath of God, which is the lower hay of God's name. So where we have Yud is the first letter in God's name, and being God's name of Yud Kei Vav Kei is the source of all vitality of all creation, that Yud now reflects itself or finds itself in the lower hay, which gives vitality to this lower world. It demands an extreme great tzimtzum, contraction. And in order that light should come down all the way to this physical world, as opposed to the study of Torah that vivifies in the spiritual realm, to bring it down into this world, we need an arousal from below, not by Torah scholars who, again, only a small part of the day are occupied with performance of kindness. That's not sufficient. This is affected only through an arousal by those who perform the commandments, meaning that they're occupying themselves with charity and kindness for the majority of their lives. Therefore, they're able to draw down all the way into this physical world, because again, this physical world is only created through the latter hay of the breath, mass speech, and Yud now reflects itself or finds itself in the lower hay, which gives vitality to this lower world. It demands an extreme great tzimtzum, contraction. And in order that that light should come down all the way to this physical world, as opposed to the study of Torah that vivifies in the spiritual realm, to bring it down into this world, we need an arousal from below, not by Torah scholars who, again, only a small part of the day are occupied with performance of kindness. That's not sufficient. This is affected only through an arousal by those who perform the commandments, meaning that they're occupying themselves with charity and kindness for the majority of their lives. Therefore, they're able to draw down all the way into this physical world, because again, this physical world is only created through the latter hay of the breath, mass each, and it demands charity and kindness for the majority of their lives. Therefore, they're able to draw down all the way into this physical world, because again, this physical world is only created through the latter hay of the breath, mass each, and created through the latter hay of the breath, mass each, and
all right, we're having a little problem with that video. Sorry about that.
Just study Rambam each and every day. I'll never miss my daily Rambam. My episode desires. I'm not busy or too tired. When I learn Rambam connected, I remain. I am a link in the Rebbe's golden chain.
All right. Yeah. Let's get started on Sefer HaMitzvos, class number 165.
In addition to the prohibition we learned yesterday against slaughtering any sacrifices outside the Holy Temple, there's another prohibition, negative mitzvah number 89, against offering up any of the body parts of a sacrifice outside the Holy Temple. Positive mitzvah number 39 is the commandment that every day in the Holy Temple we bring the Karban Tamid. In the morning and in the afternoon, a lamb would be sacrificed as an olah, as a burnt offering. Positive mitzvah number 29 is the commandment that there must constantly be a fire burning on the altar. And negative mitzvah 81 is the flip side of this. We're forbidden to ever extinguish the altar's fire completely. Positive mitzvah number 30 is the commandment known as Trumas Hadeshen, removal of the ashes, where every morning a Kohen would ascend the altar and remove some of the ash that would gather up there from all the sacrifices that were brought throughout the day.
Baruch Hashem, it is day number 165 of our daily study of Rambam Sefer HaMitzvos. And in the 3 chapters a day of Mishnah Torah track, we are finishing Hilchos Ma'aser Kobanos with chapter 19 and starting Hilchos Tamidin U'Musafin, chapters 1 and 2. Okay. So as you know, Hilchos Ma'aser Kobanos we've been doing for several days. That's about the procedures of the Kobanos. With the mitzvah that corresponds to that is the prohibition, negative commandment 89, the prohibition against offering sacrifices outside of the temple. This is the prohibition forbidding one from offering a sacrificial offering in any location outside of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Okay, now, starting Hilchos Tamidin U'Musafin. What is that? First of all, that's a plural. Those are plural words. Tamidin is plural, singular is tamid. Musafin is plural, singular is musaf. What's a tamid and what's a musaf? Tamid means perpetual. It means the perpetual offering. Every single day, every day, the first sacrifice brought in the morning and the last sacrifice brought before at the end of the day was called a tamid. A musaf, you might be familiar with a prayer service called musaf. Musaf it literally means additional. And those were offered on special occasions, namely Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh, which is the new moon, and biblical holidays, Yom Tov. So basically now we're getting into the regular korbanos. Regular meaning
The Tamid is literally every day, actually twice a day, as mentioned. And the Musafin are several times a year, at least once a week, because there's always one on Shabbos, there's always one on Rosh Chodesh, and then at the different biblical holidays throughout the year. So now we're going into the regular sacrifices. Okay, regular meaning the ones that are done frequently at expected intervals. And they are also communal offerings because they're done on behalf of the entire community. Okay, so we have a few mitzvahs that correspond to these laws. Let's jump into them. Positive commandment 39 is the Tamid, the Tamid sacrifice, the 2 lambs that are brought each day for a continuous burnt offering. 1 lamb is offered in the morning, and the second is offered in the afternoon at the end of the day. Positive commandment 29 is the perpetual fire that must be kept burning continuously upon the altar. And as it says in the rest of that verse, do not put it out. And that's actually our next mitzvah, which is negative 81, not to put out the continuously burning fire on the altar. And finally, positive commandment 30 is the mitzvah of removing the ashes from the altar. Remember, there are ashes on the altar. What's happening on the altar? There's that fire that we just spoke about, and that fire is consuming animal offerings, which are being burnt up. So there's a mitzvah for a kohen to remove the ashes from the altar every day. Okay, those are our mitzvahs today. We'll see you for more regarding Hilchos Tamidin U'Musafin, Emetz Hashem, God willing, tomorrow.
All right. That, my friends, takes us to matters of Mashiach, which we will do right now. Are you ready?
והוא גואלנו, והוא גואלנו, משיח צדקנו, הרבי מלובביץ' מלך המשיח, הרבי מלובביץ'.
All right. Are you ready? Hold on 1 second. Let's do that. All right. The exile began with our descent into Mitzrayim, Egypt. Nevertheless, Yosef was Egypt's ruler, and in Egypt, Yaakov lived the best years of his life. Galus began with this descent so that we should know we have the ability to overcome it. From this, we understand that Galut, exile, does not have power over us. On the contrary, the purpose of Galus is for us to become the master of it. By conquering its challenges, we rise to a higher plane. Here's Shmuel Tzvi with our message for the day.
When a person complains without reason to complain, God says, you're complaining? I'll show you a reason to complain. And on that very same token, when someone appreciates their situation, even when it's not the most worth appreciating situation, God says, you think that's great? Let me show you something greater. So meaning, the more grateful you are, the greater God reveals to you.
Mashiach's waiting at the door, so let us greet him and come back home, finally home in the place where we belong.
We're going to bring some heaven down to earth. Are you ready? All right. If you did good, celebrate that you have a God who's there with you in your good work. And if you fell on your face, celebrate that you have a God who doesn't abandon you when you fall. Think about that. Come talk to me on social media about it. Any of the Actors Rabbis groups, at Blue Sky Clubhouse, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube. Email me at theactorsrabbi@gmail.com or go to theactorsrabbi.com and join our mailing list. Get your beautiful, beautiful weekly newsletter from us. Yeah, this is the latest one. Shabbos print edition of Breakfast with Ellie, so you never have to miss a moment. And you can still learn with us on Shabbos. And you can sign up for life coaching services should you want them. All right, let's make an after bracha. Baruch ato Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam boirei nefashos rabos v'chesronan al kol ma sheborasa lachayos bohem nefesh kol chai baruch chai ha'olamim. All right, thank you to my Patreon sponsors, Pest Pro Red All, Tarzay Norkids, Dina D Design, Bracha Biederman, Reza Musavi, Wendy Cohen, our anonymous donor, CJ Glass for his wonderful donation today in honor of the Radomsker Rebbe. Tal U'Matar L'vracha, thank you for all of your tefillos for Chana Bas Gittel and the return of all the hostages and an end to all wars. We appreciate it. If you would like to be counted amongst those who bring Torah all around the world, scan this handy QR code, which will take you to breakfastwithelli.live/support. I'm going to check out these sites today and make sure that they're up and running. I'm told that there was a little bit of a problem. But you can go to patreon.com/theactorsrabbi. I know that one works. And our PayPal works. We definitely know that. So I'm going to check out the others today. All right. What a great day. Chai, 18, the 18th day of the month of Av. Go out and do something nice and something good for someone today. In the words of Rabbi Zakamler, have affection for a fellow. Hashem will have affection for you. Do a kindness for a fellow. Hashem will do a kindness for you. Draw a fellow close. Hashem will draw you close to him. A ksiva v'chsimateva, a gutke ben shtior, may you be signed and inscribed for a healthy, happy, prosperous, joy-filled new year. It's customary to start saying that after the 15th day of Av. Asaf Charush has a beautiful, beautiful new song for us today called Sorry. Sorry? What's he sorry about? Well, you got to watch the song and find out. All right? We'll see you, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I love you all. You're amazing.
למה יש לך טלפון של דוס? אתה לא מבין שככה לא תתפוס? חייב לפתוח כמה ערוצים. בטיקטוק אין לך בכלל עוקבים. המשרד שלנו לא קוסם. בסוף המוזיקה שלך תיעלם. לא משנה אם אתה מהמם. אתה חייב פשוט להצטלם. אז תן לי קטע בשדה, זה משהו עם אריאל, למה אתה לא זורם? מה יהיה עם הזקן? למה רק שחור לבן? ככה אתה מהמם. מה עושים עם הפאות? ככה זה צריך להיות, לא טיפה משעמם. טוב לך לשים הבטן גב, נעשה אותך כוכב. אז וואלה סורי, אני לא נדבק למצלמה בשביל הסטורי, ולא הופך את החיים בשביל הגלורי. וגם אם אף אחד לא ישמע עליי, don't worry, וואלה סורי. אז וואלה סורי, אני לא נדבק למצלמה בשביל הסטורי, ולא הופך את החיים בשביל הגלורי, וגם אם אף אחד לא ישמע עליי, don't worry, וואלה סורי. למה כל הזמן אתה מתקרר? אתה לא רואה שרק אתה עוצר? פותחים עוד דלת ואתה חוזר אחורה כמה שיותר מהר. זמרים כמוך לא חסר, חמוד אתה צריך להתעורר. אם רק טיפה היית מתפשר, כבר ממזמן היית מסתדר. אז תן לי קטע בשדה, זה משהו עם אריה, למה אתה לא זורם? מה יהיה עם הזקן, למה כשחור לבן ככה אתה מהמם? מה עושים עם הפאות, ככה זה צריך להיות, לא טיפה משעמם. טובך לשים בבטן גב, נעשה אותך כוכב. אז וואלה סורי, אני לא נדבק למצלמה בשביל הסטורי, ולא הופך את החיים בשביל הגלורי, וגם אם אף אחד לא ישמע עליי, don't worry, וואלה סורי.
Bring them home, bring them home. We've been praying for so long, so Abba, please bring them home. Bring them home, please bring them home. We've been praying for so long, so Abba, please bring them home. We're coming home, we're almost home.